Yo, welcome back to Inside the Lunchbox. This is your boy, Chef Mac. How's everybody doing again? Once again, we're back doing the things that we normally do, talking about food. I'm here with the infamous, the famous,
the felonious,
Levi.
Yeah.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, what's good? What's good, everybody? No, not much. Just working, and then there's flu season going on, and so dealing with a little bit of that at the house. And but all in all, life's been pretty good coming into 2025. We got a little bit of housekeeping notes to say though. So we've been getting some comments on our TikTok videos. Some of them are good, like recommending us to go to different taco places here in Conroe, and I do need to check those out. I've been meaning to check them out, but just haven't found the opportunity to do so. But then also we've been getting some hate comments, specifically on one of our TikToks. Someone called us nerds. That is a slur.
I guess we are nerds, man. We're sitting up here having fun.
No, it's one of our good friends too. It's one of our good friends. She hopped on our TikTok. She's like, nerds, and I was like, oh, okay, great.
That's hilarious.
Great.
That is hilarious. So, hey, today's topic, we're going to dive into the world of coffee.
Yeah.
America's favorite drink.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a lot of countries' favorite drink. Right?
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, but definitely the U.S. is famous for its love of coffee, which is contrast to other, because the United States was originally founded by the British Empire, and contrast to other Commonwealth countries like Canada or Australia or South Africa or even the UK, where tea is the most drank thing. Tea is their thing. And we have tea here in the U.S. too, especially in the South. We love our sweet tea. But coffee is the preferred hot beverage of the United States. And it has been for a while. I don't know if that has everything to do with like the tea tax that happened in the early revolutionary times, or we throw all their tea in the Boston Harbor, or what. But coffee has been generally an American it's been an institution here in the United States, as well as other places. But we are Americans.
Nice. So what is your favorite? Are you a coffee drinker?
Oh, I am a coffee lover. I love everything coffee, especially hot brewed coffee, definitely.
Hot brewed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Iced coffee has its place. I just never found it. I like my coffee hot brewed, unless it's like 110 degrees outside. Then I'll get a Frappuccino or something like that.
I'm a tea drinker, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like coffee. I have my moments where I drink coffee. I don't drink a lot of like the Frappuccino or the iced coffee, which I like it, but it's not really something that I really like doing, right?
Yeah.
Drinking. But tea, the time I spent in the Middle East, man, I enjoy drinking tea a whole lot more than drinking coffee.
Really?
And I think the reason why is like there's just so many different flavors.
Oh, yeah.
Of tea. And with coffee, you either get bitter or you get some type of woody flavor or, and I don't know.
That's where all the creams and flavoring come in with coffee. So I had someone joke one time and say that if you have to add milk and sugar to your drink, you don't actually like the drink. And I disagree. I think there's a lot of foods and there's a lot of beverages out there where you add different flavors to it to spice it up. I think for every, like, I'll also drink tea, especially sweet tea. But for every box of tea I buy, I probably go through 6 cans of coffee.
Really?
Yeah. I could drink a pot of coffee a day easy. I probably do at work. They provide coffee at work and I drink it.
Yeah, I'm not a real big coffee drinker, but I like it. Like now hold on, I do like Turkish coffee.
Oh, Turkish coffee.
Turkish coffee, yeah. I could drink Turkish coffee like all day, every day. And I think the reason why is because of the bitterness. I like bitter tasting stuff. And once again, it was one of the experiences that I had when I was in Kuwait. They drink a lot of Turkish coffee over there. And Turkish coffee is really, really, really good. And it comes in a small little cup, and it's more pasty than a regular coffee that we drink over here in the U.S. or in other countries like England.
So in my time in the Navy, obviously I went to Europe, I went to the Middle East. I've also been to South America. I've been to different parts of Africa. I've yet to find anywhere in the world that serves coffee the way we do here in the United States. Those big mugs of coffee just don't exist anywhere else. Coffee is served in these little cups.
So we're
just
overdoing
about everywhere
it.
else. I think we're doing it right, and everybody else is wrong.
Yeah, so we're overdoing it.
Because like if you go into my cupboard, I have coffee mugs of all different sizes, but none of them are as small as the ones they would serve us in Europe. The little shots of espresso or the Turkish coffee when I was in Turkey, or even in South America where a lot of coffee is grown. When I was in Colombia, don't get me wrong, Colombian coffee is the best coffee in the world. There's a specific brand. It comes in like this gold packaging. It's hard to find, but whenever I would go to Colombia, I would leave space in my suitcase empty to buy bags of coffee and stuff them into my suitcase to bring them back to the States because you couldn't get it in the States. And that is the best coffee in the whole wide world. There's no argument about it. But still, even in Colombia, I would be like, can I get a cup of coffee? And they would come out with these little cups. I'm like, okay, can I get a hot cup of milk too? And then I would take the milk and the coffee and mix them together and have like an actual drink. Like it's hard as an American.
I'm not asking
to get
for
a
2
mug,
ounces.
like a whole mug of coffee. I don't know. I think everywhere else just does espressos, and we actually drip pot our coffee.
So that kind of explains it, man. Because I know when I was in the Middle East, they drunk coffee and they drink it in a little bitty mugs.
That's standard around the world.
But here in the U.S., we drink coffee in mugs.
Yeah.
But that also makes me understand why we're addicted to caffeine in the morning time. Because when we're going to work at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, we go to Starbucks and get what's the large cup of coffee?
Like 20 ounces.
20 ounces. And it's like,
I mean, I don't know.
It's an overkill. Like you're so jacked up on coffee, and we're constantly moving around and stuff like that. Where in other countries, they drink coffee more so just to pass time, right?
Yeah, or it's like in the afternoon. A lot of it is like in the afternoon. They'll get their little shot of espresso in the afternoon.
Yeah, we drink coffee to stay up and continue functioning.
Yeah.
But so
there's a lot to be said about our society, though, our time-based society, where Americans every hour of your day has to have something planned out in it. There's no time for downtime. There's no time for relax.
Yeah.
Americans are a lot more like our society. I would say is a lot more hectic and just more like time intensive than other places.
Yeah.
That's looking at everything from like our paid time off that we get versus other countries. Vacation time versus other countries, how many hours we work compared to other countries. I think a lot of that has to do with it. So, but yeah.
So, being over there, so we're both military veterans, war veterans. And I know when I was in Iraq, we had this company called Green Bean. I think it was called Green Bean, the coffee shop that was on like the base. And they got this drink. So there's hope I don't get in trouble from saying this, but there's a bomb that's called the Moab. Mother of all bombs. Well, this coffee, Green Bean, they got a coffee drink that's called the Moab, the mother of all coffees. And it's like, I want to say it's a little bit over 20 ounces. It comes in a tall, like styrofoam cup, or regular coffee cup, and it has 6 shots of espresso in it. 6 shots. So one day,
that can stop your heart.
Tell me about it. I almost experienced it. So I guess the night before I had pulled, I did my 13 hour shift, 14 hour shift or whatever. And then took the 1.5-hour drive back home. This is when I was in Kuwait, and I had to stay up. So normally when I get home, I take a shower or whatever, and I have about 5 hours of sleep before I had to get back on the bus and get ready and do my shift again. So I decided something I was doing, I had to stay up. So I maybe got like, I think maybe 30 minutes of sleep, and that was probably on the bus going to work. So I was like, you know what? When I get on shift, I'm going to go to Green Bean, and I'm going to get me a Moab, which is mother of all coffees, with 6 shots of espresso. And I added a 7-shot of espresso. And, bro, when I tell you that I felt my heart beating out the back and the front of my chest, it was so bad. I was sweating. I felt like I was hallucinating, and that was the first time coffee has ever got me wired. And I literally thought I was going to die, dude. Like, I really thought that my heart was just going to give out on me and just say, you know what? You're done. You shouldn't have took it.
Yeah.
And it was and man, when I got home, I still could not sleep. Even though I was off that day, I still stayed up for like another additional 2 or 3 hours after I got home.
Yeah. You can definitely overdo it.
Never again have I ever took any more than just a regular shot of espresso. Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't even mess with shots of espresso half the time. They get me a little too wired and jittery. I just like coffee for the taste. I'll be honest with you. I love the taste.
Yeah.
You get the right amount of coffee, even with or without cream or sugar. Now, taking coffee straight black, that can be kind of a struggle. Like I need a little bit of sugar, I need a little bit of cream, something to kind of like even it out. But when you get the mixture just right, the brew just right, when it's not too bitter, it's not too thick, and you get just the right amount of cream and sugar. I just don't know of a drink that tastes better.
Now I do
I 100% drink coffee for the taste. I love it.
Now when I do drink coffee, I gotta have my coffee strong.
Yeah,
I want my coffee strong.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
want it to.
Yeah, I get compliments on how good I make coffee because a lot of places, especially at work, and not this, necessarily this job, but like usually at workplaces, people will overmake the coffee. They fill the filter all the way up to the top with grounds, and I'm just like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You really only need to go about halfway up. Let the water seep through. Let the brew happen. You don't want your coffee too bitter. You don't want it to overflow and to get grounds into the mix. You know, 3-4 scoops of beans, small scoops is good enough. And that coffee is going to be great. So that's my opinion.
So when you go to Starbucks or any other place, is your coffee just the regular Americano?
No. So when I go to like an actual coffee shop, I want their specialty drinks. So when I go to most places, it's usually a mocha. That's usually what I'll order. Or sometimes I'll get a cappuccino. But usually it's like a latte, a mocha, something off their menu that they can make in their little espresso machine, something that I can't make at home. So I don't understand going to a coffee shop and just getting the brew. I brew coffee at my house. I want their specialty drinks. I want the foam. I want the whipped cream in there. I want the special chocolate sauce in there. Yeah. I pay the $5 or $6 for the specialty drinks.
Yeah, when I go to Starbucks, I usually get the upside down caramel macchiato.
That's actually a good drink.
Yeah, that's what I normally get. If I go to Starbucks and get a coffee, caramel macchiato upside down. Yeah, that's what I normally get.
Mine's the white chocolate mocha, usually grande white chocolate mocha frappuccino. Not frappuccino. Frappuccino if it's hot outside, but usually it's the grande white chocolate mocha. That's normally what I get. And then I love their seasonal stuff. So I am one of those pumpkin spice girlies. I definitely do the pumpkin spice. When it's on the menu, I get it. And then during the December holiday time, I get the peppermint mocha. I like the peppermint. Okay.
What about chocolate chip? Chocolate chip mocha?
I've had
mint chocolate chip mocha?
I've had the mint chocolate chip, not mint, the chocolate chip mocha frappuccino. I've had that frozen. That's really good. Ice cream shops also serve things like that too.
So there's actually a drink that I can't remember what it was. I don't know if I could bring it up here. Maybe I'll do it later. But it's actually a specialty drink that has ice cream in it. It's a type of coffee that you scoop of ice cream and then you pour your regular brew coffee on it and then you add your foam on top. It's actually a type of coffee that's served. I wouldn't mind trying it one day.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Let me see. Maybe
Shoot.
Maybe I could find it on here. I thought I had it on here, but maybe I don't. Maybe not. But yeah. So, yeah. All right. So we're gonna go into a little bit of history with the coffee. For all you guys out there in the social media world, where does coffee come from, or where was it found? Where was it the origin of coffee? I always thought it came from South America, and then I was told it came from the Middle East.
I thought it always came from South America too.
And then just recently, moment, I found out that it comes from Ethiopia.
So I knew that coffee existed in medieval times that predated the American discoveries. I knew that, but for some reason, I always thought there were native plants, coffee plants to South America. There are not. So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that too. Somebody asked me, where does coffee come from?
So apparently,
Colombia, South America.
They come from Ethiopia, which that's not very surprising, considering that like Ethiopian coffee is really good.
And Ethiopia makes their coffee in the ground, in the sand, like regular, like you make your Turkish coffee. And I had some Ethiopian coffee when I was in Kuwait. I had a live-in nanny with me that would take care of my boys, and she would make she would make the Ethiopian coffee. and oh my God, that coffee is really, really delicious. And one day I got upset at her. Bless her heart. TG, if you ever listen to this, I apologize. But you're still super awesome. You're always part of the family. She ended up marrying an American guy. She has they have kids now, so she's doing great. But I come in from work, and it's her sister, or I guess her sister, maybe her cousin. They always call each other family. And my son Ivan sitting down in the middle of the floor drinking coffee, and my son was only 4 years old. And I flipped. I was like, why in the heck are you giving a 4-year-old boy coffee? And this kid was wired all night long. And I'm sitting here like, Jesus. And I didn't like cuss at her or anything like that. I just told her, I was like, why would you do that? Like, you don't give a kid no freaking coffee at that age, But then again, I had to step back and she probably felt like she didn't do anything wrong because maybe in their culture they allow that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or not, but I was always told you can't give coffee to young children because it will stunt something inside.
Yeah, I'd never believed that.
I don't know if it's true. Like my 11-year-old son, he's always wanting to try coffee, and I'm like, let's wait till you're older. I don't know if it's going to hurt him or not. Like apparently, it has about the same amount of caffeine in it as like a soda, and we let it drink soda.
We let it drink soda, right?
But I don't know. My dad let me start drinking coffee around 14, and so that's about the age I'm going to start letting people drink coffee.
Well, at least you started off, I couldn't drink coffee in my house.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, when I lived with my grandparents.
Did you know that? Did you know the Mormons don't drink coffee?
I didn't know that.
I couldn't be Mormon because they don't allow coffee drinking.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't
coffee.
Know that. I was living with my grandparents for a while, and so you heard the saying where you drink coffee stunts your growth.
Right.
Well, when I grew up, I was told I can't drink coffee because it makes you mannish. I don't know. Have you ever heard of that word mannish?
It sounds like manic.
No, so mannish means, I guess, kind of like a gentle way of saying like a pervert. I guess.
Oh, really?
Like perverted, like you want to be like, hey baby, what's going on? And you like want to do
really
9 years old, you want to kiss on the girl, make you mannish.
So they thought it was like an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, like aphrodisiac.
Huh. I don't even believe that aphrodisiacs really work. I don't know about we.
Yeah, that
didn't we talk about that in a different episode where we talked about aphrodisiacs?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we were talking about oysters being aphrodisiac.
Right, but there's so many wives' tales about this stuff.
I think it's true, man.
Okay. Oh. But I know coffee doesn't. It makes you more awake a little bit.
This is not no late night date show or whatever. But I did know somebody that would eat certain things.
Right.
And it would she said when I eat it, this happens. And I kind of tested it. I was like, oh wow, all right, let me eat some more of these. But anyway, so it definitely was founded in Ethiopia. They said it was 800 AD by a
goat
shepherd,
herder.
A goat herder. I guess he stumbled across some coffee, and I don't know if he was hungry or what. I really didn't get
I
too
bet
far.
He had a lot of free time on his hand herding goats and decided let's just boil this stuff, see what it tastes like.
And so now I know the Yemen has a similar instance saying that they were the ones that founded coffee first, but it was somebody was walking by, like a sheep herder or whatever, was walking by, and they caught birds eating this,
right?
Eating this bean or this nut or whatever, and he tasted it, or he thought it was food. He tasted it and realized it gave him abundance of energy, right? But if you look at all the history, they always say that it goes back to Ethiopia was the first ones to discover coffee, and then it went to the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
Or was that Yemen, Ottoman Empire?
Well, it was a part of it.
Right?
The Ottoman Empire is mostly focused around Turkey.
Okay, so it went up through Turkey, and then that's how it started doing the trade into England or into Europe, and then into South America, then up through the U.S. And the timeline is very interesting. If you guys ever get the chance, man, go look up the history of coffee. It's quite interesting. There's
also the history of coffee houses, right?
Yes.
So a lot of what we would think of as Enlightenment ideas started in coffee shops around Europe and around the Middle East and other places like that. In fact, Enlightenment ideas got so bad because you got to understand these are old empires, right? So they still have aristocracy, they still have the old way of doing things, and so you have all these people sitting around in coffee shops talking about radical new ideas like self-governance, radical new ideas like nationalism, or equality of man. It's dangerous to the ruling class at the time. So there was, I believe, in the Ottoman Empire, if I'm remembering my history correctly, there was a crackdown on coffee shops in the Ottoman Empire because they're like, we can't have this dangerous, overthrowing the feudal system we've set up over the last 1,000 years. Can't be undone by these idiots drinking coffee.
Right. Yeah, right.
That never happened with tea houses. I'm just all the tea friends out there.
Yep. So I guess what is that? Turkey was the first ones to have the coffee houses.
Well, Turkey, we would know it today. I don't know when, off the top of my head, when Constantinople fell and became part of the Ottoman Empire, but it was around that time. Like that says 1475 in Constantinople. I want to say that's after Constantinople was captured by the Ottomans.
Yeah,
I think Constantinople fell in like 1450 something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be the Ottoman Empire. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so Constantinople became the capital of the Ottoman Empire and was the capital of the Ottoman Empire all the way through like World War I when the Ottoman Empire fell, and then the remaining Turkish upper class formed the modern country of Turkey around that time, like the 1920s, and then they renamed it to Istanbul.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So there are many types of the bean. Actually, there's four famous types. You have the Arabica. Is that how you say that?
I would guess so.
Robusta, the Excelsa, and the
Liberica.
And if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, please let me know.
We're not from the Middle East.
We're not from the Middle East. I don't even know if these are like Middle Eastern names or
they look like
what.
they're Latin names. So that's what they do with a lot of like food names, that they pick Latin or Greek roots to name things after, which is a great way to do it. So the Arabica, that's probably the most commonly known coffee bean because that's what they grow in South America.
Yes. So with that, if I'm not mistaken, those coffee beans they're grown in high elevation, and they need the elevation to grow. So, which is quite interesting,
right?
And for some reason, I think they're easier to brew or easier to roast. I don't know why they're the most common, but they are.
Yeah, that's what you put in your coffee pot to brew.
Yeah.
60% of the world's coffee supply. When roasted, Arabica beans provide a sweet yet soft taste with low acidic levels. These types of coffee beans need a cool subtropical climate where sun, rich soil, and moisture are present, typically at a high elevation. Since Arabica beans are difficult to grow and cultivate, they are most expensive compared to Robusta beans and have a higher cost of production. Most Arabica beans are grown in Africa and Latin America. Yeah, and volcanic soil. That's why they can grow in places like Hawaii.
Yep. The next one you got the Robusta, which is native sub-Saharan Africa. Bitter. The flavor is bitter, woody, or nutty. I would probably say that's probably more me right there. Then again, I don't know because I've had Ethiopian coffee and I freaking love it. So I guess that was the Arabica. But they the Robusta is really used for like a lot of the coffee blends and espressos.
Yeah.
And the Arabica is more for just a regular brew of coffee.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the type. That's where they're from. That doesn't mean that that's the only thing they grow in Ethiopia.
Yeah, exactly. So the Robusta coffee beans is considered the inferior choice compared to Arabica since it yields a strong, bitter, harsh taste when roasted. Robusta beans contain twice as much caffeine as the Arabica, which makes them less vulnerable to diseases and pests. Is that right? Yeah, pests. Yeah. Since caffeine acts as a natural insecticide, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
In the plant, primarily grown in Africa and Indonesia. Robusta beans can also stand up to harsh grown environment at lower altitudes, making them cheaper to produce and sell due to its low cost. Most instant and ground coffee blends sold in grocery stores are made from Robusta beans.
Ah, so that's what I've been drinking this whole time. Huh, that makes sense.
So if you get your cheap coffee, your coffee's probably Robusta bean coffee.
Yeah.
Nice. So we also got the next one. We got the Excelsa.
Yeah, that's interesting that it comes from Southeast Asia. Huh.
Tart and fruity and dark. The flavor profile on that one. I did have a coffee one time, and like it looked like red wine.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was the Excelsa coffee beans, but no, because I remember the guy that was there. He was telling us that they have a brewing place here in Houston. He's like a coffee. I forgot. They actually have a strong title where they sit there and they mix beans together to get certain flavor profile for coffee. And he showed us a bean that was red in the inside and it produced red coffee, and it was freaking delicious.
Huh.
I don't know, and it was from South America. So, so Excellis beans. Don't really know too much about those. Let's see if we can find anything on there. Maybe not.
Yeah, I didn't know there were coffee beans that were native to Asia. That's interesting.
Okay, so then we have.
I need to look that up.
Then we have the libertarian coffee beans. I'm just joking.
The libertarian.
We have the Liberica, which is also Southeast Asia.
I wonder if it's pronounced like Liberia.
Liberica.
Liberica. Huh.
Unusual, nutty, and woody.
Brewed coffee and desserts. That's interesting.
Brewed coffee and desserts. Huh, interesting.
Like, I wonder where in Southeast Asia. Like, are we talking Vietnam, Laos, Malaysia?
Let's see. I have it right here.
Aha.
Okay, let's go back to Excellis real quick. First discovered in Africa, most of the Excelsa beans processed today are grown almost exclusively to Southeast Asia with a slightly elegant, elongated. Ooh, let me put my glasses
I got you. With a slightly elongated oval shape, the Excelsa bean grows well in medium altitudes. That's nice. Excelsa coffee beans are known for their incredibly complex flavor profile and are commonly used in coffee blends to add dimension. Okay, so this is something you would add to other beans to make it better. Its delicious flavor also makes Excelsa bean a popular standalone brew choice. Compared to other types of coffee beans, Excelsa beans combine light to dark roast traits to produce unique flavors ranging from fruity and tart to rich and bold. The unusual depth of the Excelsa flavor makes the bean difficult to find outside of Southeast Asia, so this type may need to be sourced from a specialty retailer. Huh.
So they're extremely expensive?
So again, they're from Africa. The coffee plant itself is from Africa, but they grow them in Southeast Asia. Okay.
All right. So we got any comments?
It says it's from you.
Oh yeah, I put that. I put "Hey baby" on it.
Oh, okay.
One of my homegirls is on here. She's viewing. She hasn't said anything.
Okay.
I think she's being shy, so I kind of sent a little message to her.
So this is so now we're going on to the libertarian coffee bean.
The libertarian,
native to Central and Western Africa. It makes sense. The Liberica bean is highly tolerant of harsh climates and low altitudes, growing well in countries throughout Southeast Asia, including Indonesia. I did know that there was coffee from there. Yes, I did know that. Okay. Malaysia and the Philippines. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
An almond-shaped seed with a floral and somewhat fruity aroma. The Liberica bean can most likely be found in the Philippine food markets or specialty retailers. Often noted as having a controversial flavor, it boasts an unusual but full flavor profile that can be described as nutty or woody. While it can be used for its own to brew coffee, this unique flavor of bean makes it a popular blend choice and a creative option. Okay.
Nice.
Interesting.
So those people are the 4 types of coffee, but there's one that I don't know which one. Maybe you can look this up, Levi. I don't see it on here, but it's a delicacy, and it's the coffee bean that comes out of a civet's butt.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about that.
I want to know which is it. Is it the Robusta bean?
Yeah, I don't know. That was I heard about that on a movie as a kid. I think it's called like The List or whatever. You got these two old guys. One of them's Morgan Freeman. One of them's, I can't remember his name, but they got cancer and they're old. So they travel the world like in their last days or whatever. I think it's called like The Bucket List or something like that. And in the movie, this guy has his special coffee he has going everywhere with him, but everybody keeps turning him down. Like, no, thank you. He's like, it's the most expensive coffee in the world. And finally, somebody tells him, you know why it's the most expensive coffee in the world?
Yeah.
Because it's monkeys. Monkeys eat it.
No, it's not a monkey. It's a cat.
Yeah, it's a cat.
It's a
certain
cat.
types of cats.
It's a civet.
Certain types of cats, they eat it, and then they digest it, and they poop it out. And then what's pooped out is brewed into a coffee.
So this civet cat, his main diet is coffee beans.
Right.
So that's all this cat eats.
Because don't coffee beans have like a cherry on them or something? They have like an actual fruit.
They have a coating, and you take it out. And
right. Yeah. You scoop the bean out, and then you roast the bean, and then that is what you turn into coffee.
Yeah. And so I've actually had some of that coffee. And I said I would have never drink it. And then my homeboy kind of did what you just said. Yeah. He's like, hey, man, come down, drink some of this coffee I got, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. And he's like, don't put no sugar in it, man. I was like, man, I want some sugar in it. I mean, I don't drink my coffee like this. Like, no, trust me, you're not going to need no sugar in it. And I drank the coffee, and I was like, oh, my God, this is so good. He said, yeah, man, it cost him like $300 for this bag. It was like a regular, like 2-pound bag or a pound bag or half a pound bag or whatever. And I looked at him, I immediately thought, you mother.
Yeah.
He was like, yep, you're eating coffee from a cat butt.
Yeah, but you said you'd try Rocky Mountain oysters, so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is just weird about it. I don't think I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, so you have...
I don't think anybody's ever going to be offering me the most expensive coffee in the world, so I don't have to worry about it. I'll tell you what I won't drink, though. I won't drink decaf coffee. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I have been told that the way they get the caffeine out of the coffee beans is they soak the beans in ammonia.
I don't know. I never. Maybe that we still look that process up. But we got a question.
And ammonia is what you use to like wash windows with. It's like a type of poison. It's a soap that's poisonous to you. Oh. So I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've been told, and so I stay away from decaf coffee.
All right. So you got light roast coffee, medium roast, and you got dark roast. Mm-hmm. All it is levels of roasting for the bean. Light roast is toasty grain with pronounced acidity. There's no oil on the surface when you're doing your light roast. The amount of caffeine per scoop is high, and they normally roast at approximately about 400 degrees. And you don't do it for a long period of time because then it starts becoming a medium roast and a dark roast, right? Right. Then you got your medium roast.
Like they cook the beans on a fire. That's what the roast is.
Exactly.
And so the longer they cook it on the fire at the higher temperatures, the more the beans are going to burn, and that's what makes them the different colors.
Yes. Medium roast coffees is considered one of the more approachable coffee styles because of its slightly sweet, slightly acidity, well-balanced flavor. The beans are roasted to 420 degrees Fahrenheit and removed from the heat just after the first crack, but before the second. This non-oily roast is preferred in the U.S. or the United States, often earned the name as the American roast.
Yeah, baby. We love all of our freedoms.
So we like the medium roast here in the U.S., right? The
not too dark, roast. Not too light. We like it perfect.
I like my women dark. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. All right, dark roast. Dark roast coffee is made for dark brown coffee beans that have been roasted 445 degrees Fahrenheit and typically reach the second crack that internal oils of the seeds rise and the surface of the bean takes on a full body, almost spiced flavor. The original characteristic of this bean will be roasted out at this point, but it is low acidity, makes it a favorite as a base for coffee drinks with additional flavoring syrup.
Right.
Pairing well with chocolate and caramel. Interesting.
I wonder if that's what my mocha is made out of. Huh.
They got extra dark. They got black. They got the black coffee. I didn't know it was an extra. Have you heard of extra dark?
No.
So extra dark roast coffee beans are heated to approximately 475 degrees Fahrenheit until the beans are nearly black. They are quite oily and have a bold, smoky, and bitter flavor caused by the Maillard reaction. The strong flavor of this roast is excellent for espresso-type coffee drinks without full intensity of the caffeine the espresso typically delivers. It is also used for making cold brew coffees. That makes sense.
Okay.
I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
I kind of understand. I could see that. Interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't know. We got any comments? Probably not.
No.
Just me.
I think last week or 2 weeks ago we ignored them all during the.
We got 2 likes though.
Heck yeah, we got likes.
Let's go.
So when I was in Colombia, they take the coffee beans. I think it's like a medium roast coffee, and they dip it into chocolate, and then after it cools, they sell it and you eat it.
Yes, I do like the chocolate covered coffee beans.
Really good.
I like the chocolate covered coffee beans. It's freaking delicious, man.
I'm not a big fan of like eating coffee beans, but that is really it's better than I ever expected.
And you also coffee beans also cleans your palate too.
No,
it's a palate cleanser. So if you're going out and you want to taste something or whatever, and you tasting multiple things, coffee beans is a palate cleanser. So real quick,
heck yeah,
we're to a great part of our show. Q&A, questions, answers, or trivia. We're going to actually add more to this whole segment of the show. But right now, we got a couple questions for you guys. How much coffee? Whoa, let's try that again. How much caffeine needs to be taken out of coffee for it to be described as decaffeinated? Anybody got any answers out there? Who's Michael? Hey, Mike, you on the mic with Mike? Hey, what's going on? Hey, Hannah, what's good? Hey,
so
comment.
How come I've not seen those?
I don't know, man.
Huh? Is that on the StreamYard?
Oh no, I'm actually on my Facebook page.
Oh, personal. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my personal Facebook page.
I see.
I think they just came up too.
Oh,
it's probably gonna be a little minute.
We're still figuring this technology thing out, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
So Hannah's on here. What's going on, Hannah? And Mike, a real good friend of mine's, work friends. So Mike, you drink coffee, man? Any thoughts? All right. So about 90%, 97% of the caffeine has to be taken out of the coffee bean in order for it to be.
And question for next episode: how do they get the caffeine out? Is it ammonia?
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that one out.
Or am I spreading misinformation on the interwebs?
Right. All right. Next question: what is the only U.S. state where coffee beans are grown? No, it's not Texas.
If you've been listening to the episode, I already said it earlier in the episode.
Oh, so somebody should have been taking notes.
Wait, do we have it? Wrong sound effect.
All right. Let's go for all my
high
Hawaiian.
elevation, tropical climate, needs volcanic soil, Hawaii with regular rain.
That makes perfectly sense. Make perfectly good sense. So when I go to Hawaii,
it's also why they can grow like sugar cane in Hawaii.
I better have
they can't grow sugar cane like Texas.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I better have some good coffee when I go to Hawaii in a couple months.
Oh, you're going to Hawaii?
I'm supposed to.
Heck yeah.
All right. So Hawaii, that's another one up for you, man. What country is the biggest exporter of coffee?
Now, I thought the answer to this question was Colombia because, again, I've been to Colombia.
I actually thought it was Colombia.
I would have 100% bet money it was Colombia because they have the mountains. They have the mountains for the higher elevation, all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was Colombia too.
And it's not Ethiopia, but that would have been a good guess too.
It's not Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. It's not nowhere in the Middle Brazil.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't be in the Middle East because You need rain to grow coffee plants.
And Brazil is just so massive, and
yeah, this is true. Yeah, they get the size advantage there.
Also, the home of Carnival. So Carnival is actually coming up this year. So if you guys are planning on going to Carnival, have fun and enjoy your time there. Dude, I always wanted to go to Carnival just because of the women. It's just so freaking beautiful. But if I go to Carnival, it has to be in Brazil. It can't be nowhere else. It has to be in Brazil. All right. What 10-letter coffee drink has less milk than a latte?
Does espresso have 10 letters?
No, it doesn't. Come on, people. I know you know these questions, especially big coffee drinkers. What 10-letter coffee drink has less milk than a latte? You ready? A cappuccino.
Is latte called latte because it has milk in it?
It has a latte milk in it. I don't know. That was corny, but all right, whatever.
I mean, does latte mean milk? Is it like leche?
Like leche?
Latte? Huh.
Maybe so. That's a good question.
You'd think I would know these things. I don't. I don't know anything. I just buy coffee and I drink it.
There you go. Buy coffee and you drink it. Hey, real quick before we head out, that was definitely a great time talking about coffee. I want to give a shout out to the Chinese New Year, which is today.
Oh, right.
And they're going to be drinking a lot of tea, coffee, and alcohol and stuff like that. So happy Chinese New Year's to all my friends that are from China. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, especially you guys on TikTok.
Yeah, especially you guys on TikTok.
It's still around, thank goodness.
Thank you for keeping TikTok here. That's really, really good. We survived TikTok.
Yeah.
I should get a shirt that says we survived TikTok.
Yeah. We'll see. Apparently it's only like a 70-day pause, so we'll see if it's still around.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
at least for the next 2 episodes it'll be here.
Yep. So I want to say another thing is next week we're probably going to have a page on our live podcast that's going to give shout outs to different businesses. Right now I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine. His name's Chris also, aka Big Sexy. He has a sauce called the Big Sexy Sauce. He teams up with a company called I think it's Legend Seasonings. He's working on getting his product into the market. Wish you the best of luck, man. The sauce is crazy good. I've had it before. It's freaking fantastic. If you're out there and you see anything Big Sexy Sauce, definitely go out there and try it. You're probably going to see a lot of it this year with the crawfish cooking getting ready to pick back up. So definitely if you see him out there locally and you see anything that says Big Sexy on it, definitely go hit up, purchase his sauce. It's very, very, very good. Other than that, Mr. Rex, you got anything for us before we coffee up out of here?
No, just be good to each other. Have a good couple weeks. We will see you guys. Well, actually, you'll hear this episode if you listen to this on our podcast. You'll hear this in February. But for those of you guys
February
in Facebook,
4th.
for those of you guys in the Facebook land and on YouTube, see y'all in February.
Let's go. Love you guys.